Okay, so we're going to create a coil, parametric arrayed coil. So going to start new family, metric generic model I'll start with. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to draw up a coil. I'm going to nest this family into the next one. So actually I'll just stop this for a minute. I'll throw in some reference planes just so I can get my endpoints. Gonna set these so they're equal distance from the center. There's our overall length. Throw a parameter on there, we'll call that coil length. Make that an instance because it's going to be nested and we want to control this from the family that we're nested into. So create sweep. I'm going to sketch the path. I'm going to go from the center to the end. We're going to create a nice little arc there. Back across to the end. Another little arc. I think that last one was 260. Might be wrong. And just do that. Okay, so now I'm going to snap our endpoints just to make sure that this all sits pretty. That guy there, and that one there. Alright, so now that I've got that, I'm going to throw some dimensions on here. So we're going to control the height of the individual sections of the coil. What we're going to call this one, we'll go this half. I'm going to call this as a coil. I might be wrong in my terminology, but anyway, I'll call this half coil. Height. We want that to be an instance as well. So now if we just double check that, that should change our height. Go a bit crazy. It's looking good, excellent. So we'll throw that back to 300. And we'll just check our width as well before we get too far. So there you go, it's attached to the reference planes there as well. So next we want to do our profile. I'm just going to do this from the left. Now I've done this from the reference level, so it's going to be laying down. And now let's just place our circle. Center mark on, and we'll just align and lock the circle to the center mark there. I can't create sweep, I think my circle's too big. Hold on. Edit profile, how big was that? 220. Throw it back to 100. And that'll create our sweep. There we go. Alright, so here's our coil. And what we want to do is we just want to move this down to the central reference plane. We'll change these to not a reference just so we don't have any dramas when we nest this into our next family. I'll save this one as coil nested 2 because I've already made one up. I'm just re-recording this. Don't want to confuse myself. Alright, so new family, generic model again. Okay. Flick back to our nested coil. Let's throw this in. Alright, so I can just shove this around a bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to align and lock our nested family. See how that picks up the reference plane from the nested family? Lock that. Okay, now that'll give us something nice and easy to create our array from. So I'm going to draw a reference plane in, which is going to control our array. What I'm going to do is I'm going to array and have the distance set to the second element in the array. Now we want to give a dimension to this. This will be the full coil height. It's going to be center to center of the circle. Oops, so go full coil height, and that'll be what was it? So half coil was 300. So actually, what I'll do is I'll also create the parameters to map to the nested family. So we've got the half coil height, and we've got the coil length, parameter coil length, or width, or whatever it should be. So what we'll do, full coil height should be 2 times half coil height. Okay, so that gives us the height there. So now we create a linear array, and I'll just use 3 as my number. And I'm going to move to the second. Okay, so I'll actually what I'll do is I'll just go a little bit too far to show what's happening here. So there's our array. And what I want to do is I want to align the second to that reference plane, lock that. Pick up that array, throw an array count on the array. Now, all going well, hopefully I've done it right, just run through this really quickly. Oops, so 6, it's array 6, half coil height, so we'll go 250, that works. Coil length is obviously going to work. There we go, how's that? The one thing we didn't control, we're going to control the radius of the coil as well. So if we come back, edit our sweep, edit our profile, go back to the left, throw a dimension on there, coil radius, make that an instance so we can map that. Save our changes to the sweep, overwrite, and now we'll select, we'll have to edit the group to actually, now because I'm doing this a bit backwards now, there's our coil radius, add parameter coil, whoops, coil radius, so that's all good, just get it out of our group. So now we should be able to control our radius as well. Everything works nicely. Look at that. Change it to 600 and change that to, we'll be limited by the radius of our bend, but let's see if we can do 150. There we go, look at that. Can actually go a bit further. Massive coil. There you go. So that's that is how you array this particular shape in parametric array, and also control the dimensions of the coil parametrically as well. All right, excellent one take wonder video. Hopefully that answers all the questions. All right, thanks.